Imagine a time long ago in the rugged hills of ancient Israel, a time when the people were trying to figure out who they were without a king to guide them. This is the story of a man, a woman, and a tragedy that shook a nation. It's called the Levite's concubine, found in Judges 19 of the Bible. It's a story that's raw, intense, and not often told, but it carries lessons that still hit home today. Let's dive in. Our story starts with a man, a Levite from the hill country of Ephraim. A Levite was someone set apart to serve God, kind of like a priest's assistant. This guy had a concubine, a woman who was like a wife but with less status in those days. Think of her as a partner, but one who didn't have the full rights of a wife. Don't know her name, but she's at the heart of this story. Things weren't going great between them. One day she got upset, maybe fed up with him or something else, and she left. She packed up and went back to her father's house in Bethlehem, about a day's journey away. The Levite let her go, but after 4 months he missed her. He decided to go after her, hoping to patch things up. So the Levite sets out with his servant and a couple of donkeys. When he arrives at her father's house, her dad is thrilled to see him. He throws a big welcome party, food, wine, the works. For 3 days, they eat, drink, and talk. The father keeps saying, "Stay another day," and the Levite agrees. But on the 5th day, the Levite's like, "We gotta go." It's late afternoon when he, his concubine, and his servant finally hit the road back to Ephraim. Now here's where things take a turn. It's getting dark, and they're still far from home. The servant suggests stopping in Jebusa, nearby city that's not part of Israel. The Levite says, "No way, we're not staying with foreigners. Let's push on to Gibeah, an Israelite town. It'll be safer there." Oh, how wrong he was. They reached Gibeah at nightfall, exhausted. Back then, travelers relied on hospitality. Locals would take you in, feed you, give you a place to sleep. But in Gibeah, nobody opens their door. They're stuck in the town square, sitting on the ground, when an old man, also from Ephraim, spots them. It's like, "What are you doing out here? Come to my house." Relieved, they follow him. The old man is a good guy. He feeds their donkeys, gives them water to wash up, and sets out a meal. They're finally relaxing, feeling safe. But then, there's a loud banging at the door. A mob of men from Gibeah, troublemakers, the worst kind, surround the house. They're shouting, demanding the Levite come out so they can harm him. It's a terrifying scene, like something out of a nightmare. The old man tries to calm them down. He even offers his own daughter to protect his guest, a desperate, awful choice that shows how chaotic things were back then. But the mob won't listen. In a moment of cowardice, the Levite makes a heartbreaking decision. He pushes his concubine out the door to the mob to save himself. What happens next is horrific. The mob abuses the concubine all night. At dawn, she collapses at the doorstep of the old man's house, barely alive. When the Levite wakes up, he finds her there. Coldly, he says, "Get up, let's go." But she doesn't move. She's gone. It's a gut punch moment, one that shows how far things had fallen, not just for her, but for everyone involved. The Levite is shaken, but he's not done. He takes her body home, and in a shocking act, he cuts it into 12 pieces and sends them to the 12 tribes of Israel. It's gruesome, but it's his way of screaming, "Look at what happened. This is what we've become." The tribes are horrified. They gather together, demanding answers. Who did this? How could this happen in Israel? The Levite tells his story, and the tribes turn their anger on Gibeah and its people, the tribe of Benjamin. They demand justice, but Benjamin refuses to hand over the guilty men. This sparks a brutal civil war. Thousands die, and it all traces back to that terrible night in Gibeah. The story ends with a line that sums it all up. In those days, there was no king in Israel. Everyone did what was right in their own eyes. So, what do we take from this heavy story? It's not an easy one to hear. It shows us what happens when people lose their way, when selfishness, fear, and division take over. The Levite failed to protect someone he loved. The mob chose violence over humanity. The old man's hospitality wasn't enough to stop the tragedy. And the concubine, she paid the ultimate price in a world that didn't value her. This story, tucked away in Judges, is a warning. It reminds us to stand up for what's right, to protect the vulnerable, and to build communities where people look out for each other, not just themselves. It's a call to be better, even when the world around us feels broken. Thanks for listening to this story. It's tough, but it's part of the bigger picture of the Bible, a book that Dos and T shy away from showing humanity at its worst and its best. If you want to explore more stories like this, check out Judges 19 for yourself. And let us keep asking, how can we make our world a place of justice and compassion? Until next time, take care.